Hey dear viewers and subscribers, thank you for tuning in once again. So today I have a video for you that's going to be very interesting. So this video is part of a docu-series I'm trying to put together to showcase Jamaica and all the positiveness surrounding Jamaica and its music, its people, and its food, and how it affects other people that are not of our culture.
My name is John. People know me as Johnny Spliff. I'm 53. I'm married to a beautiful woman, my best friend, going on 31 years. I got two beautiful sons that are finally out of the house. I'm retired and trying to live a good life.
Johnny Spliff, is that just a nickname?
Yeah,
or?
that's an alter ego thing, you know.
Okay. You've always been known as Johnny Spliff?
Nah, just for last year or two.
Okay. And this was before all of the videos and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are your hobbies like? What do you like doing?
Oh boy, well, I definitely love listening to reggae and dancehall. Other hobbies, well, I used to be a football coach back in the day. I loved working with children. I did it for over 20 years until, health problems stopped me from doing that. It broke my heart. I wanted to be old and gray down there with them children because I just loved working with kids. But now I just try to keep my house up and that's basically all I can do. My good days, my bad days because of my health problems. And, just have fun. Try to smile as much as I can.
Sounds good. So how was it? How did you catch on to say the culture, like the music of Jamaica, the reggae?
Well, I first went to Jamaica in 2008 to celebrate. I think it was my 20th anniversary, married to my wife, and it just caught us. The warmth of the people, the culture, the food, the music. We've never really met anybody that has disrespected us, and we've been there going on 12 years now. And I started listening to more and more. Well, Bob Marley was the first influence that I had because he came to me at one of the most difficult periods of my life, and he helped me quite a bit, and he helped me look at the world differently. He actually helped me look at me differently. So I have a lot of respect for Bob Marley and Peter and Bunny. You just don't listen to the music, you gotta hear it. You gotta hear the message, and you gotta hear everything that it's about. And I think then I went to Dancehall, and I think one of the first songs I ever downloaded was from Elephant Man.
Okay.
And then I just started listening to more and more dancehall, and I liked it, and I was like, okay, this is something I can't dance to it because I'll probably break in half, but I just love the artist, just the vibrant sound of dancehall and then the smooth sound of reggae. It's just a nice combination.
Nice combination. All right, so could you explain a little bit more about, you said Bob's music helped you. Could you explain to us a little bit more? Speak on it a little bit.
Well, it had to do with my back problem. I've had a couple of surgeries on my back, one worse than the other, and I was on some pretty heavy medication at the time.
Okay.
Pretty heavy opiates, not the regular ones you hear about, but the ones that you don't hear about.
Okay.
And it really took over my life, and I couldn't live that way anymore. especially one day when my 12-year-old son had come down to me after taking a dose of one of my medications, and I looked like a junkie. I was nodding out, but I heard him say, "Ma, I can't talk to Daddy right now," and he took his medication. And that was a turning point.
Kind of hit you hard, right?
Oh, right in the heart, right in the heart. And I looked at my wife after my son left the room, and I said, "That's it. I'm off this. I can't do this no more." And not telling my wife, who's a nurse, who would have definitely told me to go a different direction, I just stopped taking it. So I went through some heavy withdrawals that night, very heavy withdrawals, and I turned on the TV. It was about 2 in the morning, and the documentary of Bob and the Wailers was on. And for that hour that was on, it kept me, and it kept me focused. And then I did some more reading in the coming days after I was then I went back to stepping down properly off of the drugs so I wouldn't go through that again. And the more I read about Bob and the more I watched about Bob, I was very fascinated in his story from, you know, very humble beginnings up in 9 Mile all the way to the big city and then down to Trenchtown, where, I mean, I've seen the pictures from the 60s and the 50s of what Trenchtown looked like, and I was just like, oh my God. And for him to actually be part of that whole creation of reggae with him and Peter and Bunny and Toots, you know, it's just the story. It wasn't just the music, it was his story. You know, that if you really read into Bob, you knew the struggles that he felt.
He went through.
He really did. He really did. It wasn't an easy road, you know? But I always liked in the end when he did go to Hope Road, and I always mix up his name. Is it Neville Garrett?
Neville Garrett, yes.
Yeah. When he said on a documentary, Bob said, "Why you coming?" This lady said, "Bob, why you coming up to him?" He said, "Because I'm bringing the ghetto up to him." And I just thought I was like, yeah, okay, now you stuck it to them. I love it.
It's pretty much like the song his son did, Damien. We made it out.
Oh yeah, having a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was singing that all summer. Watch on Instagram, it may come up one day.
Yeah, that one is a powerful song.
Yeah, I like that song. But you get people like the pure reggae people. The pure reggae people, you've seen a lot of thumbs down on that song because it wasn't reggae. It wasn't.
It's not about. Sometimes it's not about the beat. It's about the message.
Exactly.
Okay. So, would you consider yourself like a honorary Jamaican or just a lover of the culture?
I've been blessed many times with being called a Jamaican. It was very funny on Instagram. Some lady was like, "We have to get this man his Jamaican citizenship." So I joked around. I said, "Well, okay, fine. I'll wait. You get in touch with Andrew Holness and we'll sit down and get this thing taken care of." She answers me and actually tagged Andrew Holness in the whole thing, and I went, "Oh my God, this is going all the way up to the Prime Minister. What's going on here?" And I'd look at my wife and I go, "Terry, I don't understand what's going on here." But no, just, you know, would I be like, say, yeah, I'm a Jamaican? Sure, why not? Why not? I can't say anything bad about the country. I have nothing bad to say.
So you would pretty much, it would be easy to say that the music actually saved you in a sense.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt. Because I do this when I'm at my worst. When I put up my little Instagram videos just to get people to laugh. I'm feeling really bad when I'm singing. But it makes me feel good. You know, it makes me feel good that I know that I'm making people laugh.
Okay, so you explained to me off camera how it came about that you posted your very first video.
Oh yeah.
Could you tell us that story?
Sure. I happened to be working on my home that day. I was trying to fix a horrible fence and put up a new one, and I hurt my back. So I had a very big spliff that I had rolled a few days earlier, and I figured just puff out the rest of it.
As big as that one that you got on that table?
No, it was actually bigger. It was actually probably almost twice the size of this.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a little extra ganja left over, and I said, what the hell, why not? I don't get to do it often. And I was smoking in my garage like I always do, and I said, you know what? I started vibing to family, and I was singing it, and I said, you know, I want to see how bad I actually sing this song. So I put up my iPhone, and I just started recording myself. And I looked at it afterwards, and I went, oh my God, this is so bad. I said, I'm going to put this up on Instagram and just see what happens. I got to make some people laugh. And then I put that up in June, and it got to Poppy.
June of last year?
Yeah, June of last year. And I got tagged in it on Instagram one day, and I went to Poppy's page, and at that time it had something like 50,000 views, and my mouth just dropped open. I said, what's going on here? And I turned to my wife, and I said, Terry, look at this. And she was like, 50,000 people have looked at this video and liked it? I said, yeah, isn't that ridiculous? And, you know, we started reading the comments, and I was just crying, laughing so much at the comments, even the haters. And it just grew and grew and grew to where all of a sudden I'm looking at it in a few days, it has 150,000 views, and I'm getting direct messages from people I know in Jamaica that said, hey dude, your video is blowing up down here, it's going viral. And I went, oh my God, all just because I wanted to make some, I had like 100 followers back then, I had nobody. This was never about followers for me. I just wanted to make people laugh, and it just took off.
I think that's why it took off, because it's organic. It's
Yeah.
not cloud chasing or anything.
No, not at all. And I'm not trying to make fun of anything. That's just how bad I really sing. You know? I'm not trying to sugarcoat it for nobody.
So it pretty much started, the videos, I mean, from that video that you did about family from Popcorn, right?
Yes, yes.
And how many videos of that nature have you done since then?
Oh, maybe 7 or 8, somewhere around there. Because I know I did one of Taurus Riley.
Yeah, that's the one that you were singing to your wife, right?
Yes, I was. She's royal. And then I think I did 1 or 2 of Busy Signal. Because Busy Signal has got one of the best voices out there. I mean, you got to give it to the man. And Popcorn. And I think that's it so far. No. I just did a Jesse Royal, because he's got a nice beat. And I did DeMarco also. And Chronics.
So pretty much you basically just vibe to the songs that catch you.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to feel something from the song. I just don't do a song to do a song. I got to like the artist, and I got to like the music.
So you said your first time to Jamaica was in 2008.
Yeah.
So how was that experience?
It was great. I mean, you know, no matter where you went. I mean, yeah, you had people trying to sell you things. Of course, they're trying to make a living. I get it. You know? Excuse me. But we had a great time. We really had a great time. I think we visited a couple of places. And it was beautiful. I mean, just everything, the vibe was unbelievable.
So at that time, your very first visit, did you guys just stay in the resort at that time?
For the first year, I think we did. We did do one of the boat rides. But I think we did stay on the resort the first year. Because, you know, we were new, we didn't know where to go. You know, we weren't really on the internet that much to find out all the places to go. But I have a great taxi driver, though.
Yeah.
He's like part of the family. Have him for 12 years. My man, Chucky.
Okay, so so pretty much like I remember I was going through your Instagram and I saw you took a picture of this guy. I think he was uh, jerking on the side of the road.
Oh yeah, Smokey Joe.
Could you explain the experience that you had with that person?
Yeah, Smokey Joe's a great guy. I mean, the man definitely knows jerk. He's like your neighborhood jerk man, I would say.
That was down in the grip, right?
Yeah, that was right on Westmoreland Boulevard, right there, right in front of the what was that? The Grand Pineapple Hotel, I think it's called. And he's a really nice guy. Sit down and talk to you. Serve you some fresh vegetables that I mean, to this day I could still taste the cucumbers. They were unbelievable. Gave you some great jerk chicken, like a spliff, no problem. Sit down and talk. And we actually brought 2 plates back to people who didn't want to come with us. And then when they ate it, they were like, "We should have came with you." I told you.
Okay, so what sparked? What made you decide, like, I don't want to spend my whole vacation in a hotel room or just on the resort property?
Right, because it's the same thing. You get up, you have coffee, you go sit by the pool.
And it would, in a sense, it would be pretty much be the same whatever country you're in.
Yeah, it's like Groundhog Day.
Because it's not like you get to know where you are. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, it all depends. A lot of people just when they go on vacation, they sit on the beach and they bring their Kindle and they don't want to know from nobody. They just sit there and just read their Kindle all day. And I'm like, you spent thousands of dollars to get here. Look at this beautiful country. Why don't you want to go out and see some of it? Yeah. It's like, I'll never forget our ride from Ocho Rios up into 9 Mile. And my man Chucky was telling us about how all the countryside there, where everybody was planting cabbage and everything, that was all mined out for the bauxite. So I was only not just looking at all this beautiful countryside, I was getting a lesson in it too, why it's shaped like that. And just to see all those cabbages just growing in the side of the mountain just blew me away. And Chucky actually did his shopping for the day on the way up. He was getting green beans here and cabbage there and picked up some rolling papers and some tobacco.
Yeah.
You know, I got a kick out of it.
Okay, so you ventured out your very first time. Explain that experience, like your very first time out in
the
Jamaica
very
itself.
first time. We were invited to go up into the hills in the grill, where this one of the bartenders at one of the resorts we had gone to had a little shack up there, and his wife would make jerk chicken. So we're like, all right, fine. And I called Chucky. I said, Chucky, let's go. Turned out Chucky knew the guy. Great day was had by all. But when Mrs. Roach came out and made that jerk chicken, I didn't want to leave. It was the best food I ever had in my life. My wife liked it so much that she was going under her fingernails, trying to get the jerk out from under her fingernails. She loved it so much.
Wow.
You know? Then we all had a drink. We were all hanging out. I was hanging out with the locals, and the bartender comes up to me, Delroy, and he was like, "Yeah, man, see them boys over there? They're a rude boy. Don't go. Don't talk to them. Because they'll try to get you. Just go out and buy some rum and they'll be fine." So I was like, all right, it's $5. Give me some rum. One of the guys, it might have been Chucky or me, lit up a spliff. So we started smoking a spliff, and I had it down by my side because I was talking to somebody. And all of a sudden, one of the other guys from the resort who wanted to come out and chill with us that day comes up behind me, grabs the spliff out of my hand, and I look around like, dude, I was just going to pass it to you. What's the problem? And he goes, look to your left. And I look, and here come the constables. And I went, oh, shit. And they just drove on by. Everybody waved. They kept going. And I looked at Steve, and I said, dude, I will never, ever forget what you just did for me. That was my first experience up in the hills. And I'm like, I don't know you other than being a patron at your resort, and you would put yourself out there like that for me? Who does that? So that was one of the things that hooked us.
So you said you pretty much talk a lot about the jerk chicken. So what would you say what is your favorite Jamaican dish?
Oof.
That's a hard one.
Well, I mean, I really the last couple of years, curry goat's got me. That's got me, but I always got to go back to jerk. And then when we were in Kingston, we went over to Scotchies. And their jerk pork was just stupid. I mean, that actually melted. I never had pork like that in my life because I get a little piece of fat in my mouth and I get all, you know what I'm saying? But that just melted right in your mouth. And I was just like, oh, why can't I live here? I would eat this every day. This is like my McDonald's. But yeah, jerk chicken, you know, the jerk in general, I think is up there for me because I like spicy food.
So I've seen on your page that you went to the birthplace of Bob Marley, you went to the museum and all that stuff. Was that something pre-planned or it just happened?
No, that was pre-planned. That was my bucket list. You know, the man did a lot for me. And I felt at least I could do is just pay my respects. You know, I wasn't there for the tourist trap. I was there to actually pay my respects to Bob and walk in the area where Bob walked. To me, it was just as special when I lit up a spliff at 56 Hope Road and I was scared to death because here came this constable lady with one of them sticks under her arms and she looked like one of them teachers that would like crack you in school back in the day. And I was just like, I ain't smoking. But that's how it felt to me. It was like, you know, here I am, I'm standing right here. Did Bob ever smoke a spliff? Right here. Did he ever? You know?
Maybe he did.
So to me, that's special. But to walk around his tomb was emotional. To sit, you know, like they say, Palm Bob's Rock.
Yeah.
That was emotional for me.
It's kind of like being young, right?
Yeah, kinda. Kinda, yeah.
Okay, so I see also that you met one of his sons. Was that at the studio?
No, I actually met two of his sons. It was a couple of years ago. Kimani Marley was dropping an album, and I happened to see on Instagram that the tickets were only $15 to get in, and it was being held in New York City. So you know, we just jump on a train, we're gone. $15, it's not gonna put me in the poorhouse. So we go there, and I was really, even before we got in, I got kind of pissed off because the people behind us were like, and who is this guy? And I was just like, oh, shut up, just go away. But we made it down. I'm hanging out inside, and we decided to move over to after the concert to the stairs. And I'm looking at this man right across from me, and I went, you know, if I put dreads on that guy, he looked just like Rohan. And it turned out to be Rohan Marley. So I said, all right, it's the only time this is gonna happen. Go! And I walked up to him and I said, are you Rohan Marley? And he put out his hand, he shook his hand, and big smile on his face, because that's where Rohan is. And he was like, yeah, man. I said, can I show you how much I love your father? And he said, sure. And I went, oh my God, this is so embarrassing, because, you know, I don't have the greatest body. And I turned around and I showed him and at that time it was just the Bob Marley picture. Now, Rohan played linebacker for Miami University, okay? He's a very strong man. So he's looking at this and he's slapping my back here about 4 or 5 times, thinking that it wasn't real. Now, I have a bad back. And every time he hit me, I was like, oh, please don't do that. Okay, yeah, no, it's real. But it was funny, and I was just like, yo, Rohan, is there any way possible that I can meet Kimani? He's like, absolutely. So he calls this guy over on security. This guy was about 7'12". The guy was huge. And he said, make sure that this guy gets to see Kimani. above anybody else, he sees Kimani. So Kimani was on stage and he was signing a lot of CDs for his fans and everything. So we were waiting and waiting, and I'm getting nervous because the last train back to New Jersey is at 12 o'clock, and we were pretty far away from, you know, the Port Authority, and I was like, okay, come on, oh please, come on, I can't leave yet. And finally he came over and we had a little talk, and I showed him my back piece. And he lost it. He like whipped off his sunglasses, handed them to his man, and it was just like, wicked! And you know, he gave me a big hug afterwards. He signed the book, Dear Dad, which I had read, which was kind of funny. We had a lot of similarities, me and Kimani. Not that my father was a reggae star, just growing up when he moved to Miami. And it was a nice experience meeting them. It really was. I mean, humble as all hell. I mean, they were just so humble. Great people.
So you say you have a tattoo?
Yeah.
You say of Bob Marley?
Yeah.
How long did that take to do?
5 years.
5 years.
Well, with my back condition and my multiple sclerosis, it was hard sometimes sitting for the piece, because with the multiple sclerosis sometimes it affects your nerves under the skin, and it made it a little bit harder to get through a session. And my tattoo artist, who I love dearly, his name is Jersey J, he would go above and beyond making me comfortable. And if I wasn't comfortable, he wouldn't even charge me and tell me, go home, relax.
And with all that pain and suffering, you still decided to go on and have it finished?
Yeah. Yeah, it was important to me. I felt like it was my penance from all the rude boy stuff I did when I was a kid. Because I was an easy kid.
Do you mind showing us?
No, not at all. Not at all. As you can see over here is a verse from War. Until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. Misewa. Then we got the Dr. Birds up here, your national bird. You got the blue maho over here, the tree. Lion of Judah for Bob. Then we got Everything's Irie, which actually it all started from the Everything Irie tattoo and just grew. And then we have your national motto with your colors there.
Out of many one people. This is so sick right now. This is
Thank you.
That's a lot of dedication, bro. And the picture of Bob Marley actually looks like it's pasted on your back.
Yeah, he really did some job on that.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It actually took first place in Philadelphia.
Really?
At a tattoo show, yeah.
This
the best portrait.
This is something else. This is really something else.
Thank you.
You showed us that amazing tattoo of Bob Marley.
Yes.
And I think if Bob could see that, he would be bewildered to see that somebody took that time out.
Right.
To actually do something like that. That's kind of like a tribute.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so summing up all of what we talked about, you've been to Jamaica how many times, you said?
12 times.
12 times. 12 times in succession, or you took breaks
in
between
no.
visits?
Never take a break.
So from the very first year you went at least once every year?
Yeah. We went twice one year, and that was because my oldest son was a United States Marine, and me and my wife told him, we said, if you give us 4 good years in the Marines, we'll take you on a trip to Jamaica.
Okay.
That'll be your present.
And he did that?
Yeah, he did that. Yeah, he gave me 4 good years, so, you know, credit cards get maxed out because we had to bring the little brother too. And we went to Montego Bay, and they loved it. Actually, my youngest was actually on the beach dancing, and he don't dance. He just don't dance, and they had him up dancing. But they really fell in love with it just the way me and my wife did. So much so that my oldest boy, who's getting married next year, is actually doing a destination wedding in Montego Bay.
That's great.
Yeah.
So they pretty much enjoy it as much as you guys.
Oh yes, very much, very much.
Well, you guys go back more times than they do.
Yeah, well, because we can afford it, they can't.
Okay. So I see you got your Unruly shirt on.
Yeah, just got this today.
So what did you like? Was that something pre-ordered? Like you have someone make it for you, or did you buy it like?
I went to the Unruly shop.
Okay.
Unrulyshop.com. No, yeah, they have it on the Unruly shop.
Okay, so they have their own merchants. So.
Yeah. Bobby's got his own merch out now.
Okay. And you said that shirt came today.
Yeah, I ordered it about a week ago or so, just because I had some leftover birthday money from last year, and I was like, I really want another one.
And you got your Bob Marley sweatshirt
Oh
on?
yeah, I got a lot of Bob Marley t-shirts. A lot of Bob Marley t-shirts.
Any memorabilia or just like t-shirts and
Nah, I can't afford that memorabilia. I mean, I've seen price tags on some of Bob's stuff, and I'm just like, oh, it's nice to look at, but I ain't got that kind of change.
It can get up there.
Yeah, really a lot, a lot.
So to top it all off, put in your words what your whole experience is of your visits to Jamaica, the music, the people, and everything else that has nothing to do with Jamaica.
Well, the music, I think the music just stands on its own. It's so original. It's, again, like I said earlier, I said you have the reggae here where, you can get some good vibes, or if you want to get upset about something, you can listen to the trials and tribulations through reggae music that the people are still suffering even 40 years later after reggae was founded. Dancehall, like you say, just makes you want to bubble up your body, and have a good time. The people, to me, are second to none. I mean, they were some of the warmest people I've ever met in my life. And we've been from one side of the island to the other. I mean, from Kingston to the Grill with a couple of places in between. And you can't beat Kingston. You go to Devon House and just have one of their patties or their ice cream. You just gotta fall in love with that.
Ice cream is
those patties. Those patties are crazy. I never had a patty like that before. And it's just the overall feel of the island. I mean, everybody talks about, you have the Irie t-shirts and, you gotta be Irie. But really listen to understand, what they say. It's, just, good vibes, relax, slow down, Even though people drive fast in Kingston, it's a controlled type of crazy, and just going in the Grill where you get more of the country vibe. It was a nice little seesaw, so to speak, of seeing Jamaica that year. But I don't think I'll ever stop growing. I don't care if I'm in a wheelchair. I'll still go to Jamaica. I need my fix every year.
It's like you're addicted.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And every year it just keeps getting better and better. Meet more new people and more new people. Go to a different store here or a different shop there. Been up to Orange Hill already. I did that thing. Met a nice farmer man several years ago.
To learn about weed, right?
Oh yeah. How hard it is to do that sometimes.
Yeah, it is. They do get a lot of backlash.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, he told me some horror stories.
Which is crazy, because you would expect to make, like, when you talk about weed, that's like the first thing that comes to anybody's mind that knows about that plant. They think about Jamaica.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
A lot of people don't know the struggles people go through.
No.
To even smoke it.
And how the politicians will always politicize it and look for the big companies to come in. Now, I've heard mixed reviews on how Jamaica is handling their new legalization policy. I know they have 2 dispensaries now, one in Ochi and one in Kingston.
Yeah, I know of the one in Kingston. I forgot the name of it, but I know.
Yeah, the one in, I know more, I see more posts from the one in Ochi, the one I think it's called Kaya, I think it's called. But yeah, I mean, just a regular farmer guy.
The one in Kingston is called Epican.
Yeah, I've seen that. But it's very hard for you, just like your local farmer, to get ahead in there, and they should. They should. It should be opened up to everybody. Especially with that beautiful land where you can grow all year round. I mean, just the soil anything there is unbelievable from all the things that I've read about it.
So, your wife was mentioning something off camera about the warmth of the people in Jamaica and how they make her feel when she goes there. What do you have to say about that?
Well, it's true. I mean, from whether you're at the airport, you stop along the way, or when you get to your resort or the hotel you're staying at, when somebody you've never met before turns around and says, "Welcome home," and then they actually make you feel like you're home. I mean, I tell all my friends, I said, Jamaican got hospitality on lock. You can't touch Jamaica when it comes to hospitality. You know, I mean, I remember one time we were at the resort, and I saw the bartender had upset stomach. And I usually get upset stomach too from time to time. And I had some antacid in my room. So here I am in the middle of my vacation, getting out of the pool, going to my room, getting this young man some antacid, and said, "Here, chew these. They taste like chalk. They're horrible, but they'll take care of your stomach." And I scratched my head and I looked at my wife and I was like, "Did I just do that?" And I didn't even think twice about doing it, because that's how the Jamaican people make us feel. That we're totally welcome and thanks for coming, man.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
That's why they got us on lock.
That's how it's supposed to be. One other thing before we close off.
Yeah.
I remember when I first met you, when I walked in you welcomed me in, you were asking me, like, you were kind of like asking me why.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do this? And it's pretty much because I just want to share stories of to show people what our country and what it is, and how us as a people and the music that we produce,
right,
how it touches people.
Oh yeah.
And what it can do.
Yeah, it can.
Because the music is powerful. A lot of people don't realize this. Even some of the guys who sings these songs, they don't know how much their songs mean to people. They do it because it comes natural. Some people do it for, some of them do it for the money. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't realize like what the words that come out of your mouth can do.
It's true. I mean, even though me and Popcorn didn't grow up in the same area, we may have had similar things through life. You know, just because I'm from the USA doesn't mean that I'm rich. Just because you come to my home doesn't mean that I'm rich. I struggled back in the day, like we had talked about earlier. My wife struggled back in the day, you know, of becoming poor, you know, from birth. But when you go to a country like Jamaica, I remember my first time and going down the boulevard, I can't recall it, Norman Bailey Boulevard, and you would see the people up on the hill that had the houses that were complete and painted, and then you look further down the hill and then there was, you know, homes still under construction. But you look at that construction's been there for a while because weeds don't grow that fast. And then you come all the way down to the bottom and you see the shacks and you see the zinc oxide, you know, roofs. And you're like, wow, I've never seen it like that before. I mean, yeah, okay, we struggled. You know, there were times my mother tell me go get a chicken and she'd make that chicken last almost a whole week because you know Friday night you having chicken soup. Yep. You know, with all them bones in that soup. Scraps. Absolutely. But just because we grew up differently poor, that some of that song resonated to me. Because I remember when I didn't have money, I only had a quarter back in the 70s, and you can get a lot with a quarter back then. And then your friend comes out with a quarter. So that was the, you know, the 3 sardines and 1 pound of rice. Yeah. You know, that was my take on that. And my family, I love my family, my cousins, them, you know, my family is my everything. You know, if I didn't have the people I had in my life, who I call family, I know blood family, again, I don't know where I would be. So that's how that song happened to resonate with me. You know, and that's what I told to a couple of the haters that commented on Instagram. You know, poor is poor. No matter where you grow up, poor is poor.
Because a lot of people might see it and just think you're just somebody that's trying to encroach on somebody's fame for people to recognize it. But that's not what I got from it. And that's why I drove almost 3 hours to get here.
Yeah.
Because you were kind of reluctant to doing it.
I was.
And you said, "Can we do this over the phone?"
Yeah.
And you remember what I said to you?
You wanted to see my live reaction to everything. You wanted to see if I was real. And if you know me or you don't love me, you love me, you hate me. The one thing I always am is real. Because what else do I got? What else does a man have except to be real?
That's true.
You know, I'm not making any money off this. Nor do I want to make any money off this. I'm just having a good time. And now that I'm making hundreds of thousands of people laugh. See, that's what I want to tell Poppy one day if I ever meet him. And I'll probably cry when I do it because I can be an emotional guy at times. And I know the unruly crowd is going to be looking at me going, "What's this guy crying?" But you don't know, because when you live with MS and it's an invisible disease, people look at you and you look at me, you think I'm fine, right? But I'm dying right now. My back is burning up, my ass is killing me, and I got the tingles going down my legs like you wouldn't believe. But you drove all of this way. How could I say no? I can say, well, I don't feel good right now, even after you drove a couple 100 miles, or whatever it is. Then I'm not real. That's just me. I'm always, used to say my word is my bond. And if I can't do it, I will tell you, listen, I can't do it. Because I'm not gonna, jerk you around or jerk anybody else around, because that's just me. But I would definitely turn around and tell Poppy that you don't know what you did for me, man. Because sitting here with this silent killer of MS, and now again I'm making hundreds of thousands of people laugh. Being a class clown my whole life, that's a dream come true. So that's what I would say, and just burn a big ganja spliff. Like he says, puff it up.
Yeah, I think that's powerful. Is there anything else you want to say to whoever is going to watch this and may become a fan of you?
Yeah,
because
I get that a lot.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's at the early stages right now. I get a lot of young artists ask me to sing their songs or to promote a party or something like that, and if I hear your song or I get a chance to hear your song, I will. I can't promise it to everybody because the DMs just keep coming, and you just can't keep up with them. Because I'm just a guy that hangs out in my garage and smokes weed and likes to sing, badly at that, But for all my MS people out there, I know a young lady just got in touch with me, and she's feeling pretty down on herself with MS, and I will be reaching out to you, I swear on that. I'm just trying to put it into words what I want to tell this young lady, and just keep having fun. I can't get to all your DMs, but the ones that I can get to, I will try. I can't make no promises, but I don't promote parties. That's not what I do. And I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that. I just don't promote parties. I just like to sing good music, that's all.